gooner. I was a retard, I was a colder, multiple personality like a tuner. Bone crushing gel came now mager. Peptides, clap streams, void all in my ear, put me in a dream. Bury me with all my goonness. When I die, just know I lost it all. Rain bed, lights off, night lights, clothes off, baby, I got peptides. When I die, bury me with beryllium strong. When I die, bury me with my toupee on. Lights off, night lights, clothes off, baby, I got peptides.
Clothes off, baby, I got peptides. Tell me a secret and I'll tell one night. I don't wanna talk, I wanna goon all night. Ask me if I'm alright, UFO demon inside.
Libtard, retard, peanut, check like click, make a voice shake. George Floyd, overdose, screw that boy to the back hole. Libtard, peanut, AI turn into Goombay. T50s, wolf pussy hoe, TND going to castle.
Ride cold, nigga, wheel stencil, nigga, pop a Nazi, nigga, upside the head, nigga, that's a fascist, nigga, I'm a blasters, nigga, I'ma go out and kill all these classes, nigga, a Minnesota, nigga, I'm finna show these nigga, I ain't write a speech cause I'ma win the voters, nigga, stencil gang, nigga, Trump a lame, nigga, pop that orange bitch in his fat brain, nigga, I'm a lawyer, nigga, a special goy, nigga, I'm in my fallen homies, that's George Floyd, nigga, I'm a wigger, nigga, white dicker, nigga, slap my stencil cock down, I'm a siglet, nigga, that's just honest, nigga, the wigonomics, nigga, you can't talk to me unless you speak Ebonics, nigga, I love black niggas, them real whack niggas, them niggas that just want a piece of them rags, niggas, I hate the ice, nigga, think twice, nigga, I'ma melt them all down, pay the price, nigga, blue sky, nigga, I'm too fly, nigga, fuck the haters in my feet, I'm full live, nigga, Glock a fool, nigga, roll two, nigga, that fucking robot, he raped me, I'ma soon, nigga, he had that hydraulic dick and it grew, nigga, I'ma get that nigga, Elon, he through, nigga, get cash, nigga, smoke hash, nigga, we must secure a future for big black ass, nigga, Willie Stancer, he gon' make you come fast, nigga, Willie Stancer, he be talking that trash, nigga, he that bold, nigga, he smoking bold, nigga, he selling house into unfortunate soul, nigga, with Stancer, nigga, with Stancer, nigga, get down on your knees if you a Nazi, nigga, cause I'm gon' clock you, nigga, push it pop a nigga, they will never, ever stop me, nigga.
Dear diary, what a day it's been. Dear diary, it's been just like a dream. Woke up too late, wasn't where I should have been. For goodness sake, what's happening to me? Write lightly, yours truly, dear diary. Outside my door, so many people by the score, rushing around so senselessly. They don't notice there's people like me. Write lively, yours truly, dear diary. They don't know what they play.
climate dam emergency. This is real. And it's happening. This is the perfect storm. It's happening in unprecedented ways, year in, year out. You can exhaust yourself with your ideological BS by saying, well, 100 years ago we should have done this or that. All that may be true. And I'm not going to suggest for a second that the forest management practices in the state of California over a century plus have been ideal. But that's one point.
It's over, but tomorrow will be the same. I know that they're really not to blame. If they weren't so blind, then surely they'd see there's a much better way for them to be. Inside me, yours truly, dear diary.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order.
Never before has a new world order had to be assembled from so many different perceptions.
What is at stake is more than one small country. It is a big idea, a new world order.
So, in conclusion, a new world is emerging. It is a new world order, significantly different and radically new changes.
And the hope that each of us has to build a new world order.
That's the reality we're facing. This smash mouth reality. This perfect storm. The debate is over around climate change. Just come to the state of California.
Hello, chat, and welcome to Friday Night Freakshow. I am your host, DB Novo, and today we have a very, very special show. So, I want to preface this by saying that I want to do this in the style almost like how Josh did it for the old school Man at the Internet person stream. But I want to take a different approach. Instead of kind of, preparing for something, just having a whole amalgamation of clips and almost like a script written for this stream, I think I want to go for more of a raw approach. So, I'm going to be reading from TJ Kirk's thread on Kiwi Farms directly. And for the Friday Night Freak shows, I think this is going to be the structure of the stream. So, I didn't go completely blind into this, obviously. I have a long-standing history with TJ Kirk. He's one of the first YouTubers I actually watched on the platform when I was about maybe 11 or 12. So I've watched TJ for a very, very long time. And since this is my first stream, I think it would be a little poetic to include TJ into this foray that I have, diving into Kiwi Farms thread by thread. So, I guess without further ado, chat, this is going to be our Friday Night Freak show on The Amazing Atheist, or TJ Kirk. So, let me give a little bit of background here. I've watched TJ Kirk for about, I would say, maybe 10 or 9 years? 9 or 10 years, chat. And I was fairly young. It was at the beginning of this whole atheism YouTube kind of era. A little bit before the Gamergate stuff, which we'll get into later. But he was kind of, it was kind of like those Skeptic Plus kind of thing back in the day. Watching TJ pre-Gamergate era. I think I was about 11 or 12 years old. And I'll never forget that foray into YouTube. It included all of the people from that kind of atheist community back in the day. The Archfiends, the Undertaker, 1127, the Ranting Ramses of back in the day, the Kamehabams, who is now a crazy communist anarchist kind of person. So I would say that I have a long time in this community and a long time watching TJ. And this stream's going to be a little bit about almost going down memory lane, in a sense. So let's start with absolute beginning of these threads. So I sifted through a little bit. I haven't seen all 167 pages. Forgive me. There are going to be certain points in this stream where I'm going to switch it to the technical difficulties screen that I have and try to read through whatever the spoiler is going to be, so I don't expose a little bit of what's to come, let's say. So, just a little background on TJ. He was a fat neckbeard atheist YouTuber. Did some of the most edgy content I saw in early YouTube, and eventually evolved into more of a commie bread tuber over time. His content primarily revolved around being an iconoclast and being an atheist, that as time went on and friends got added to the timeline, he decided you could see the shift almost, where he became a bit of a bread tuber. So, let's start from the very beginning of this thread. The thread was made by Snorlaxative in 2013. It starts with March 8th, 2013. I personally dislike The Amazing Atheist. I find him to be pretentious, lazy, fat, neck-bearded, e-begging twat. Some might disagree, but we can all agree that getting a leaked video of yourself masturbating while covered in syrup with a banana up your ass is the pinnacle of lolcow activity. Any thoughts? Obviously, winner, chicken dinner here. Look at this. Amazing. And it's been a long time for TJ since, 2013, that's fucking 13 years ago, to develop this kind of lolcow status. And he's got a bit of the Jim Sterling effect nowadays, where once he hit over 1 million subscribers, he started regressing at a certain point when he became this weirdo communist faggot, and now he's at about 900,000, which I don't believe is his lowest. I believe his lowest was somewhere around 800, or like really at 900,000, but not quite there. Not quite like a Jim Sterling, I guess, who did that entire special, the under 1 million special. Okay, so obviously this is an incredible amount of foreshadowing, which we'll give a like while we're here. Yeah, for those who know, this is a lot for TJ. And let me just state this while I'm ahead. I have no interest in debating TJ. I have no interest in arguing Christianity as a recent Christian convert. I have no want to interact with TJ up until this point. It's kind of like a zoo animal when it comes to these kinds of things. It's the lolcow code, like don't fuck with the cows here, don't you gotta milk the cows, but you don't hurt them, you don't tip them, you gotta leave them alone and let them do what they need to do. So with that being said, if TJ decides to respond to this, hello TJ. If he doesn't decide and completely ignores this, that's fine by me as well. I just want to I just want to go through Kiwi Farms little by little and give a little bit of respect to the website that I love and enjoy. So let's continue. Judge Holden says at March 8th, 2013, he's an annoying, repetitive attention whore, but not really a lolcow. Edit. Okay, I did not see the bit about the banana. Considering the above sentence redacted, the Holy Rylith is... What the Holy Rylith is up with this guy? Okay. Naichu says, I don't know much about him, but what on earth? What people will do in search of what I'm assuming sexual fulfillment is obnoxious. Obnoxious thing. Hey, forget integrity. I want to record myself reverse eating a banana while syrup caressed around my naked form. Ugh. Like, can you just do that and not put it on the internet? Who was he even sending that to anyway? The Hunter says, he shouts a lot and expects people to like him for not liking things other people like. There's nothing special about him at all. He's kind of a loser. Wait, I didn't read the banana thing. What the actual fuck? Never eating bananas again, Jesus Christ. Mail. Remove video. Which I assume is going to be the Bananagate video itself. but it was obviously going to be removed for service. Jesus fucking Lord, I'm done. That's why I kind of suspect that this is going to be the Bananagate video, but I'm not too sure since I'm not doing any more further research into this, and I'm not going to check on Wayback or whatever. Isn't he the guy who tormented a rape victim and has similar views on feminism as the Love Shies, which is another phrase I haven't heard in a million years? Okay, so what I assume Random Pickle is doing is he's going to be quoting something TJ said, but either like sources in here. Having pedophilic attractions doesn't mean you automatically go out and start molesting kids. From the time I was 14 to the time I was 19, I used to have extremely pedophilic fantasies. Somehow managed to never even come close to acting on them. What a fucking sentence that TJ has said supposedly. Don't clip me, chat. I'm reading something about TJ Kirk. Once again, all the things I say in this thread, in these kinds of quotes, are about the cow themselves. Once again, just, for clipping purposes, I'm always going to have to say that. But I'm going to reiterate once again, this is not my idea. This is not what I have to say. I completely disavow whatever the fuck this is. This is coming from supposedly TJ, being quoted from Random Pickle. Okay, so Naichu. Random Pickle says, I hope he got mental help with that. Naichu says, why would you even admit that? Of course, who the fuck would ever admit that on the internet? So, it's surprising when it comes to something that I've watched and interacted with for a long time. Okay. For somebody that I've watched, interacted with some time ago, with another person that I've watched for a long time, it's kind of weird. It's almost like a... what would be the phrase for this? When worlds collide kind of a situation. So, Noel actually posted in this, what would be 13 years ago. I like a lot of TJ's videos, so I'm gonna play a bit of a White Knight here, which I can't obviously blame. I watched TJ's videos a long time ago. I liked them for whatever they were, that edgy, Reddit atheist from back in the day kind of style. Obviously, times have changed. So, then he says, isn't he the guy who tormented a rape victim and has similar views on feminism as the Love Shies? Jersh says, I don't know the whole story with the rape victim, but I'm pretty sure she said something stupid and TJ called her out on it. His problem with feminism is that, at its worst, it shames men for having sexuality. There are some women who are so uptight on female empowerment that they will cause a scene if a guy holds the door open for them and tells them that they're sexy. Or tells them that they're sexy. There was one story where a feminist speaker was absolutely appalled with a man, that a man had the audacity to compliment her speech, then ask if she'd like to talk over a cup of coffee. Which, this is a long time ago, chat. Welcome back to the most dreaded subject of all time. Welcome back to Gamer. Not everyone's favorite. It's gonna be, the failures of feminism video.
A feminist, then you're a bigot. I mean, there is nothing in between.
So the other day, I posted something on Twitter, a little observation. I don't know if it was an interesting observation. I don't know if it was good, if it was clever. A lot of people didn't seem to think it was. Feminism is the idea that we can make both sexes equal by focusing solely on the issues of one of them. For the next 24 hours, I heard from feminists about how ignorant that statement is. All the while, I'm thinking, and I thought it was harmless. I thought it was a pretty harmless statement. Not even a particularly venomous criticism of feminism. All it's saying is, hey, maybe we should kind of focus on the other half of the population too. But no, feminists explained to me that all inequality that exists between the genders favors men over women. All of it. Every single instance of inequality between the genders favors men and subjugates women. That is their contention. So, with my tiny little male brain, I pointed out that domestic violence against men is nearly as common as domestic violence against women, but it's not taken as seriously by the media, by the police, by anyone. Men are not treated anywhere near fairly when it comes to child custody, when it comes to who has to make child support payments, when it comes to reproductive rights. Female genital mutilation is considered horrible and abhorrent, and it should be. But male genital mutilation? That's still standard operating procedure throughout much of the U.S. Most people don't even have a problem with it. Think about that. It is permissible. I mean, just remove yourself from the cultural context for a second and think to yourself that if you live in America, you live in a country where it's just standard procedure to chop off part of a boy's penis when he's born. And don't say that it's just a piece of skin. So is your fucking eyelid. You wouldn't want that chopped off. It evolved there for a reason. And if there's really such a compelling case to get rid of it, then why don't you let people decide to get rid of it as adults? I'd have no problem with circumcision if it was voluntary, if it was made by people who have the ability to consent and not just performed on babies arbitrarily for mostly religious reasons. Women are sentenced to 40% less prison time than men for equivalent crimes. So if you're a man and you steal something, and you're a woman and you steal the exact same thing under the exact same circumstances, you're going to get 40% less time, statistically. And let's not forget that it's only...
Oh, I was muted, chat. My apologies. What I was saying earlier was, this is the TJ that I recognized growing up, you know? The TJ Kirk from my teenage years, which would be, what's like 14 freaking years ago. 2011, December 27th is crazy at almost 1 million views. But you kind of get the gist of it, you know? It's the proto-skeptic kind of era. The idea when Gamergate first kind of started. You know, he's even had these tweets where or even said on video actually, that he was the one who started the Gamergate skeptic era. Which, I mean, whatever credence you want to give him to, there's a lot more than just TJ. No, he's kind of taken the credit for Van Halen by saying he was blues. So, everyone so far in the thread has said banana. I don't really care. Maybe I'm partial to TJ, but it's like I don't care. I really don't care. Maybe I'm partial to TJ, but it's like, I don't care. It was a webcam session he did with a real woman that stabbed him in the back. Also, I'm going to pull a jerk move and point out the irony that Hunter's criticizing someone for putting things in his ass. Thank you, Jersh. So, Jersh, in relation to what TJ was saying, says, pedophilia is a thing. Some people become attracted to children. It sucks. It's gross. It needs to be dealt with. When the natural reaction of everyone calls someone a monster and demand they be castrated for what they find attractive despite not acting on urges, you end up with the bloodthirsty culture that is the United States. I'm for helping programs designed to deal with pedophilia. This sort of reaction is why we don't have any intervention programs for pedophilia and why child molestation is rampant. Victims of molestation become pedophiles. TJ has been molested. Nobody wants to break the cycle. Coming out as a pedophile is much harder than coming out as a homosexual or even a corpophile/beastphile. So, obviously, I think Jersh still agrees with this opinion. I think he would be a little bit more harsh when it comes to actively, like, when you have that natural reaction to call someone a monster and want to castrate them for being a pedophile, since the way we've seen from when 2013 up until now has become, where things have rapidly escalated politically over time. I think Jersh saying this a long time ago isn't stupid or nearsighted. If anything, it could be incredibly well succinct for the time, but I think that his opinion has evolved on this into more of my opinion, which was kill all pedos. So, Nyachu continues, I'm sorry, but I find no way to justify threatening to rape a rape victim if all she did was say something stupid. Even as a joke, it's not funny, it's just bad taste. Now that I have some context for the pedophilia comment, if that is indeed the context, then cool. I got the impression he was trying to justify the whole thing, but I suppose nothing about the comment itself indicated that. I'm not condemning discussions of pedophilia, just the supposed justification for it. Just the supposed justification for it. If he's about to break the cycle and spread awareness about the impact on victims, then that's actually a quite noble thing, which we will give a like. Okay, so Jersh says, when did he threaten anybody? Pretty sure he just said something mean and got super offended about it. TJ is abrasive but not a lunatic, which I agree. I mean, maybe more now. I haven't kept up with his content as of late. He could be more of a lunatic, but at this time, back in the day, TJ was not a fucking lunatic. He was a bit of a more rational mind on the internet. Okay. So quoting TJ saying, he says, rape isn't fatal. So imagine my indignation when I saw a chat room called Rape Survivors. This is supposed to impress me. Someone fucked you when you didn't want to be fucked and you're amazed that you survived. Unless he used a chainsaw instead of his dick, what's the big deal? The word survivor applies to people who are alive after being stabbed 73 times with an ice pick or mauled by rabid wolverines, not to a woman who gets dick when she didn't want it. Just because you got raped, you have to rape the English language? You vindictive bitch. Also, don't you ever get tired of being the victim? How many failed relationships are you going to blame on a single violation of your personal space? Pretty fucking wild. I wish I knew where this was quoted from. That's why I want to kind of grow my chat here. Want to get a little bit more source info because I want to go into these a little bit more blind, and I would like the chat to participate. So, let's see where we're at now. Yeah, not good. But still, let's, please like the stream, share, and we're going to press forward. Sandy says, I'm surprised he isn't a member of the love-shy.com. He'd fit right in. Naichu says, quoting TJ, I'll make you a rape victim if you don't fuck off. I'll rape you with my fist. I am aware of the pretense offered for you. I am aware of the pretense offered for your violent tendencies towards me. Also, I'm pretty sure I could rape you without getting killed if it was really on my agenda. I mean, you didn't kill the first guy, right? Jesus, TJ. There are ways to confront someone. None of them involve the threat of rape. Which, I mean, after that was pretty dark, so... pretty dark. Okay, so quoting that quote that Saini said earlier, did it ever occur to him that some women are raped and murdered / left for dead, or that some women attempt suicide after the incident? So I can show this because I've seen. I googled him without pressing enter so quickly. Bam. Which is a long time ago that Google us. I won't lie. One of the most hilarious uses of the word gate suffix I've ever seen. You know you're screwed if the first thing that pops up when you search your username is the infamous nude video of yourself. Thank you. Right, so am I just going to put this... Right. So I'm just going to put this here that I'm a Christian, and I'm very comfortable in my faith to acknowledge that you can still be a good or bad person if you share the faith. Have a different faith you believe in, have the same faith but different views regarding things, or even by your own decision, have no faith. It's all good. From what I've seen, the amazing atheist flips his shit on the mere mention of Christianity. This kind of proves that he himself is not very comfortable being an atheist. Much like I'm sure how the Westboro Baptist Church, who I sadly share the same religion with, but not the same views on, almost everything, has a lot of repressed homosexual urges. Zanato says, the amazing atheist is a horrid, unfunny, worthless douchebag, and his apologists are even worse. My apologies, Chad. I've had a few. Keep in mind, I was on Daniel Tosh's side during the whole rape controversy. Okay, once again, age restricted and only available on YouTube. I don't know what this is, chat, so I'm going to throw up technical difficulties. Give me one moment, please. Okay, so it was just the Bananagate video where he talks about Bananagate. I don't necessarily want to sign in and give YouTube a selfie, my ID, whatever. Fuck that shit. I'm just gonna let it be age restricted for now. In future streams, I'll figure it out. Excuse me. Okay, so the hunter says, excuse me, but there is a such thing as being on top in a homosexual relationship, and a banana is a fruit. You eat it. You don't put it in your ass. You can put tons of things in there, but bananas are for eating. Thank you. Okay, once again, replying to Trombonista. He says, he says he thinks suicide victims are weak. In a response to when Trombonista said, did it ever occur to him that some women are raped and murdered / left for dead, and or that some women attempt suicide? And then quoting TJ, talking about apparently Amanda Todd. And unlike Amanda, these people died against their will. They fought with their last ounce of courage to survive, and they still died. I find their deaths more worthy of a tribute than some spoiled teenage girl that offed herself at the first sign of adversity. Charming. Zany. Also, he likes bananas going doop up his poop chute. Don't forget that bit. Thank you, LM697. Which, fuck you. Your post earlier, when I was combing through a bit of the beginning of this thread, because I knew what was to come, you flashbanged me a bit after I saw that spoiler. I kind of figured that's what it was going to be, but I really should not have opened it. Yes. It was, I had to check, I guess. I'm going to throw this out there, which I mean, he means throw this out there. I think the Amazing Atheist is lying about never acting on admitting his pedophile. Never acting on his admitted pedophile urges. God damn it. They all do in the end. You know this. And fellatio practice in response to what the hunters said. Trombonista says, and fellatio practice for the fruit banana thing. The hunter replies, okay, maybe I should have told you. Okay, maybe I should have told you all that bananas are my favorite fruit, and that the more I think about this, the more I think about the piles of bananas I'd eat as a kid, and the more I'd die on the inside. Thank you. Naichu said, didn't Chris say something about bananas? He also pointed out how you can eat them afterwards. Thank you. That was in reference to Chris Chan, which everybody knows at this point what has happened with Chris. Okay. Judge Holden says, I think this thread pretty much sums up why so many people hate The Amazing Atheist. For all the token good points he has, not only are they about as original as Sonichu, but you can hear them from 1,000 other blogs, websites, and forums in a far more coherent, original, and funny way. The Amazing Atheist is just another internet shock jock whose sole shtick is trying to be as controversial and OTT as possible. So much so that it gets boring fast. It gets boring faster than reruns of Family Guy. Which, thank you, Judge Holden, but I don't necessarily agree for what it was at that time. The Amazing Atheist kind of felt like the only person saying it at that time. But as time went on, you know, like I said, Archfiend, Undertaker 1127, and like Ranting Ramses came around. And those people started to push these kind of similar ideas. And I feel like that's what became that whole atheism community back in the day. I even remember like people like Inquisitive Joe making videos and talking about the Irate Gamer back in the day when Irate Gamer was completely copying off of what was his name? The Angry Video Game Nerd. That was his name, James Rolfe. And nowadays, irate gamers become some sort of like paranormal ghost hunter. But as times have changed, it's things have definitely gotten more and more. To quote that judge, things are different now. So. A superior read hotter YouTube atheist. Let's see what the fuck this is. One. That was from Xanatos. Okay, that leads to nothing. Okay, whatever. So this are pictures from the dreaded banana video. So I think it's been about 13 years since I first saw what this was. And I will just say it's TJ shoving an unripe banana up his ass and covering himself with hot scalding oil. It's yeah, exactly as it sounds. Pretty fucking. From what I understand, he sent this to some sort of woman he was in a relationship with. Everything went sour. But, it's just not one of the best things to happen to you. Like. It almost makes me feel bad for TJ, who was trying to do something serious back in that day. I believe in his mind he wanted to actually make a difference of some sort. And this, without a doubt, changed the trajectory of TJ Kirk's life forever. I think this helped push him down that downward spiral of what he is today, this weird degenerate. One more time. How fucking sad.
It's cool.
Ew, get the fuck out of here. Judge Holden replies with sigh. Well, I guess I have no choice but to jerk off now. We're just gonna give that an Islamic content. Naichu follows with, he did it. He reverse ate the banana. Thank you. Frame 6 and 7. 6-7, even back in the day, are really unsettling. Please tell me that's syrup on there. Oh. Maybe it's just the lighting, says Trombonista. But I don't think that banana was ripe. Male says, in response to Trombonista, I swear it looked a little green. Like a pickle. The hunter replies Trombonista with, of course you were more interested in the banana. Pickle Nigo says, Ugh. I can never resist a spoiler tag. For the second time tonight, I have to say that I'm in need of a vomiting smiley on this forum. Winner, winner. Chicken dinner. Me and you both, Pickle Nigo. Seconding that, there's only so many times my eyes can explode in the shower of blood. The Saini, the slayer of the love shies. Thank you. Naichu gives this SpongeBob gif. How are we feeling so far, chat? We're straight up on the third page. Snorlaxative, creator of the thread, says, my only question is, was he requested to do that? Or is that what he thinks will turn away? Spap says, this fucking beautiful face of Kramer. See, that's exactly what somebody said earlier in this thread, is that I see this fucking spoiler tag and I kind of want to click. So let's switch to technical difficulties. I will be right back, chat. Alright, chat, it was just a fake. Okay, well, he got me when I was a younger YouTube viewer, and his uber edginess appealed to me then. I still check out his videos now and then. I think he's very aware of what a spectacle he is, but screw it. I'll be blunt. I find him entertaining. He amuses me, and I kind of like hearing his opinions on things. I just ignore when he e-begs and shoves bananas up his ass. I'm not a rabid fan, but I'm a fan. That was a golly. That. And when they reference e-begging, they really truly mean e-begging. So I'm going to pull up a video by my boy, Magic Mush. And I want to skim through this specific part where he starts begging to just show how bad it really truly got back in the day.
24/7, TJ. Jesus. While also talking about his other ventures, I should bring up probably one of the most infamous aspects about TJ's time on the internet. His constant e-begging. TJ was asking for money and donations all the time. When I mean all the time, I mean non-stop.
Basically, I need to come up with $220 before the day is through, or they're gonna shut the power off in here.
Books! How can you say I'm wrong to ask for books, especially on my birthday?
If you wanted to, there are some things I'd like.
Send me some fucking money, because I need it. And no, I'm not shameful about it. If I didn't have this medium, I'd probably just put dirt in my face and go beg on the fucking streets. That's how shameless I am.
$5 Amazon gift card. More if you want, because, you know, you can send me like $10,000 in Amazon money. That'd be good.
I know, times are hard. Times were especially hard during the recession of the late 2000s. But TJ never stopped asking for money. The reasons for needing money? Some are understandable, some are way more questionable and will make you raise an eyebrow.
And that means I need new cameras, I need new lenses, I need new lighting and video equipment, I need new sound equipment.
What's wrong with the setup you have now? You have a decent camera, decent set, decent everything. Why do you need more? Even the comments were fed up with TJ's begging around the time. Many have accused TJ of just flat out scamming his audience for stuff he didn't need. And I'm not going to say definitively that's what's happening here, but a lot of the things he asked for are just, why does your audience need to finance this? He asked his audience to fund a road trip to film stuff, and also to get laid.
I have a girl coming over. I want to impress her.
So I need money.
He'd make a video asking for money, and then shortly afterwards, do stuff like this.
You guys like my new jacket? It's lambskin.
He was almost certainly making new skeptics around the time. Not just of religion, though, of himself. But we can definitely go further. TJ.
If you haven't already, please subscribe to Magic Mush. He's a pretty good YouTuber. Highly recommend his channel. And please watch the story of TJ Kirk, The Relic of a Forgotten Age, if you really want to get a comprehensive deep dive on what TJ was in that era, how he used to be. I recommend Magic Mush's video. So please drop him a like. Let's switch gears quick back to Kiwi. Okay. So that is what people reference when they talk about e-begging when it comes to TJ. And it gets ridiculously bad. You know, it's kind of weird to say nowadays because most people e-beg. Like and subscribe, share the video. But TJ kind of took it to a completely different degree. Even during the era of like drunken peasants and stuff, he would ask the audience to fund the entire road trip. Like he did that supposed glutton trip he was supposed to be taking, where he did a food road trip up, what was it, the west coast of America, and it was supposed to be entirely viewer funded, even though TJ was making a shit ton of money and was looking into buying a large property with a lot of land. So the e-begging never really stopped, and that's how you got people like Brett Keane and G-Man attacking him about him constantly e-begging. And it wasn't just like a one-time, two-time, three-time thing. It became an almost every video kind of thing, where TJ would just fucking e-beg every time. And the atheism community from back in the day, the people like Archfiend and Undertaker, would constantly be dropping videos about how people would e-beg constantly. I need a new fucking computer. I need to go to Disneyland for content. Whatever it was from back in the day, during that Ray William Johnson era, before Patreon, before Subscribestar, before Buy Me a Coffee and Give, Send, Go and GoFundMe. It was all of this fucking e-begging shit. Give me fucking money. And the community on YouTube was wholeheartedly against it. But nowadays, it has actually become the norm. It is just everyone e-begs for money nowadays. You know, you'll get the common YouTubers subscribe to my Patreon, go to my Buy Me a Coffee, and donate to give me money on PayPal. But back in the day, that was actually frowned upon as a YouTuber. You were not supposed to beg your audience for money. This was supposed to be kind of like a hobby you were doing. But I digress. Dykes China says, I like some of TJ's videos, but okay, sorry. I was checking Golly's reply for a second. Give me. So Dykes China says, I like some of TJ's videos because in some of them he makes pretty good points or is funny. In others he just yells a lot and tries to be edgy. His remarks towards that rape victim were extremely rude and in poor taste, but he is nowhere near as bad as the Love Shies. He doesn't hate women. He just thinks that being rude is edgy, sort of like Maddox. Oh, Maddox. Okay, so let's see. Let's see if this leads. Or will this also just be dead link? Have to be. Must be. It must be Brave Chat. How else will we know? Right there. Okay, so now we got a video of TJ threatening Encyclopedia Dramatica.
Hey there, Encyclopedia Dramatica. I noticed that you have some of my writing and some of my artwork on your website. And I don't seem to recall giving you permission to put it on there. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm a reasonable guy. You got 24 hours to take it down, or you will be hearing from my lawyer. Thank you very much.
Son of a bitch! What a pussy! You.
Thank you, TJ. Very cool. Obviously, I don't think that fucking went anywhere. So, "24 is the highest number," says. "He's a douchebag. He e-begs while already making a comfortable living off of YouTube videos. He's in love with the fact that he doesn't believe in God, like it's an accomplishment, and his views on feminism are so misguided. They belong in a far-right forum or among the hateful little love-shy crowd. And as was already mentioned, anytime he's actually right about something, he just is making a point that you could have easily gotten from a more credible, less bigoted, and more informative source. One thing I will give him credit on, though, is that he did handle the leak of the banana video like a pro." That's gay. Whatever the fuck you are. Last seen 2016. Okay. Or 345 says, Ray Comfort shows you how bananas fit perfectly in your. TJ shows you how bananas fit perfectly in your ass. You know what? Cue the Ray Comfort video. Ray Comfort, banana.
And I've since learned that when you really look at the evidence, the truth is it takes more faith to be an atheist than it does to believe in God. You've really got to ignore the facts.
It's funny how we equate the word atheism with intellectual, when it's the exact opposite.
That's right.
Kirk, I have an intellectually stimulating theory. It's my theory of where the soda can may have come from. Billions of years ago, there was a big bang in space. Nobody knows what caused the big bang. It just happened. And from this bang issued this huge rock. On top of the rock was found a sweet, brown, bubbly substance. And over millions of years, aluminum crept up the side, formed itself in a can, then a lid, and then a tab. And then millions of years later, red paint, blue paint, white paint fell from the sky and formed itself into the words, 12 fluid ounces, do not litter. You're saying, what are you doing? You're insulting my intellect. And so I am. Because we know if the can is made, there must be a maker. If it's designed, there must be a designer. To believe the soda can happened by chance is to move into an intellectual free zone. It's to have an echo when you think. It's to have brain liposuction. Hold this, Kirk. Behold the atheist's nightmare. Now, if you study a well-made banana, you'll find on the far side there are 3 ridges. On the close side, 2 ridges. If you get your hand ready to grip a banana, you'll find on the far side there are 3 grooves, on the close side 2 grooves. The banana and the hand are perfectly made one for the other. You'll find the maker of the banana, Almighty God, has made it with a non-slip surface. It has outward indicators of inward contents: green, too early; yellow, just right; black, too late. Now, if you go to the top of the banana, you'll find, as with a soda can maker, they placed a tab at the top.
He likes the
So
unripe
God has
ones,
placed
chat.
a tab at the top. When you pull the tab, the contents don't squirt in your face. You'll find the wrapper, which is biodegradable, has perforations. Notice how gracefully it sits over the human hand. Notice it has a point at the top for ease of entry. It's just the right shape for
Point
the
at the
human
top,
mouth.
you say.
It's chewy, easy to digest, and it's even curved toward the face to make the whole process so much easier. Seriously, Kirk, the whole of creation testifies to the genius of God's creative hand.
It absolutely does. You think of the human eye.
The atheist worst nightmare, huh? And right he was. I remember seeing that mirrored video. It makes me chuckle at the fact that he's trying to threaten a website with a lawsuit over his crappy MS Paint art, as Sino. Which he's referencing that ED video that TJ made where he wants to take ED down. Xanatos continues with, it should be noted that that guy with the glasses, people couldn't stand him, and Chick in particular, hence why he wasn't in any of the specials and hardly did any crossovers. Judge Holden continues, do you know what went down behind the scenes with his entry and exit of that guy with the glasses? And yes, I am far too lazy and engrossed in my ongoing Twin Peaks marathon to find out myself. What a fucking winner. Fellow lover of Twin Peaks. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I've always wondered why the hell they ever let him join in the first place. Surely they must have known he would have been as controversial as the knob as a knob in a nunnery. Thanatos continues with okay. In response to Judge Holden, he says, the lol cows are not what they seem. I don't know all the details. I assume they wanted him because he got viewers. Basically, he didn't work out because he didn't fit in with the site's somewhat friendly atmosphere. He frequently pulled his shit whenever anyone criticized him. Also, he was a douchebag to work with. So. Quickissy, the charming man, replies to Judge Holden. He got in through sheer dumb luck. Rubbed everyone up the wrong way. Got in arguments with users and contributors alike, and left because he had a bitch fit about not getting views. Mike Machad was relieved when he left and no one gave him shit. He was actually... Hold on. There was actual celebrations on that guy with the glasses boards when he left, apparently. At least he got upset about Spoonie leaving, even though he was a colossal douchebag in his final days. Or at least people got upset about Spoonie leaving, even though he was a colossal douchebag in his final days. But has anybody watched his latest video? TJ is actually rather reasonable in that one. This could be... Mind you, I'm going to open most of the YouTube links because they, from what I can see, it's going to be YouTube, so it's not going to be anything demonetizable if it's still on YouTube.
Anita Sarkeesian, better known perhaps as Feminist Frequency, has released the first in her long-awaited series of videos examining the role of female characters in video games. A series which, by the way, was publicly funded by her audience via Kickstarter to the tune of $158,922. The first video...
Okay. We know what this is about. This was the old school, what was it, Gamergate video. So, we don't have to go into that. We all know who Anita Sarkeesian is. She's the devil. Fuck Anita Sarkeesian. She ruined video games. The whole reason video games are a bunch of goy slop now is just straight up because she had to give her fucking take and opinion about why video games always have to be political, and now we live in fucking hell world. Thank you. Universes collided. Donald Trump tweeted out Gamergate. Fuck everything. Saney replies, to be fair, doesn't Spoonie have some kind of mental disorder that makes him act erratically? Xanatos, it's telling that that guy with the glasses is still mostly on good terms with Spoonie, even though he's not one of them anymore. He's still cameos, I think. Yet, no one gives a shit about the amazing neckbeard. Okay, Sandy replying. Apparently, Benzay's the only one who was friends with the amazing asshole and sticks up for him when people insult him. Tino says, from what I read, Spoonie has bipolar disorder type 2, which sucks. That sucks for Spoonie, man. Go get some help. Pukisi says, yeah, he has bipolar disorder as well as some sort of heart thing. He does seem to have calmed down now after he got with that April girl who actually seems quite nice. I'm not too familiar with the Spoonie Lord chat, so you're going to have to forgive me when I say, I don't know. We will find out eventually when I start reading up on Spoonie. So, Boogaboo, which is a name I've heard before 2022, which is crazy because I remember hearing that name. Boogaboo says, bipolar 2 does fit in with how he acts in his last days, but I think his heart condition is just a physical thing. Before he was diagnosed with bipolar 2, he apparently struggled with depression as well, which could have been related to his latest diagnoses. I'd imagine he'd also have gotten the proper meds and counseling to deal with it too. Trip to the Moon replies to Dex China with, Maddox is at least funny and makes good points. I doubt he'll be so callous as to tell rape victims to get over it. I'd love for that 350-pound, 6'6" transgender thing in another thread would rape him and then see how easily he shrugs it off. Just under 378,000 subscribers. I hate humanity. Xanatos replies with, the difference is Maddox is more or less playing a character. The amazing neckbeard is just an asshole. Amazing. Look at this. Alright, page 4. Watcher says, in response to Judge Holden, that guy with the glasses is a business. I assume they thought he'd bring in the traffic. And as long as he just talked about movies, he'd be fine. To be honest, his distressed watcher stuff wasn't terrible. It was like Red Letter Media light. Unfortunately, he got too lazy and full of himself and decided to say fuck making content. He stated in a video, the reason he left that guy with the glasses was because they wouldn't feature him on the front page over Nostalgia Critic, and he didn't feel like he was making enough ad revenue off of it as a result. They didn't so much as kick him out as just say, hey, we're taking you off now because you've stopped making videos for 6 months. Thanks. The feeling was mutual from his side of the story. Incoming long rant, but The Amazing Atheist, at least in my opinion, is a tragic figure. If you watch any of his really ancient videos, he just comes off as some smarmy neckbeard, but more or less a harmless one. After he became popular, then came his greater production effort. Suddenly he starts doing stupid ad videos and comedy videos featuring bricks. Along with that came a completely different fan base. The ones that used to follow him unsubscribed and followed ones that exclusively talk about religion and science. TJ has almost been driven mad by his fan base. He constantly bitches about his Q&A videos, about his about how his questions are all stupid, when in reality he's made so many Q&A videos that people either just ask him the same questions or troll him. My apologies once again, chat. I've been drinking and I am tired. But I will press forward and continue regardless. Let's see. His lashing out against feminists tends to amuse me since he hates them more than police officers now entirely because they troll his videos, which is crazy to say nowadays. He seems to believe himself as an intellectual entertainer, like George Carlin, which is hilarious to say, when in reality people watch him to see what the fat, angry guy says this week. It's probably why he considers himself a great author and publishes a book every year. This is especially notable when you mention the Amazing Atheist around any prominent atheist group with actual political connections. They more or less act like autists seeing Christian. He had not become popular, he'd probably force himself to get a job. He mentioned that pre-Amazing Atheist, he was interested in web design and he had legitimate jobs, albeit minimum wage stuff, since he is a high school dropout. Now, he whores himself out for whatever pathetic website wants to pay him money to advertise his product just so he can buy more bananas. I will say, I remember a story TJ said, give or take it with a grain of salt if you will, since it is the Amazing Atheist, he could lie, but he was saying that his first ever job was working at a Pizza Hut. And he quit on the first fucking day because his manager yelled at him. So he had thrown the apron at his manager and sat outside in the parking lot until nighttime, apparently. Once again, take it with a grain of salt. Who knows if he's bullshitting. But TJ said he didn't even last the fucking day. So, legit jobs? I don't know. I don't think TJ was capable at that time to even hold down any type of job. Much less something in like web design or something that he would have to have a responsibility for. I don't even want to get started with that Straight Dope debacle. Straight Dope dared to critique his greedy Indiegogo funding for a shitty website that took a year to produce, which I assume he means not productive, which was TJ's old website. Which was a valid point considering he wanted 20 grand for a website that embeds videos from blip.com, which I feel like I've heard so many times and it's progressed so much that it just turned into blip.tv in my mind, because that for some reason I just defaulted to that. What was TJ's response? Stupid video where he only talks about 20 seconds of Straight Dope videos and doesn't even address his argument. Oh, was Straight Dope the website before this? Yeah, it looks... It kind of feels like it. I don't know. I remember TJ's era with Not Productive, where he was supposedly going to make this YouTube alternative platform, migrate all of these philosophical, intellectual thinkers onto that platform to compete with YouTube. Almost like that one thing that the commies were doing, Nebula. That is just, there's no fucking way. There's just no way at that time. Or even now, where YouTube is just that website that everybody knows. Okay. So what was TJ's response? A stupid video where he talks about 20 seconds of Straight Dope videos and doesn't even address his argument that his website would fail. He only talked about why his previous website wasn't a success. It even came off like he was plugging his website to Straight Dope fans. At the time, unleashing his army of neckbeards against anybody who dares speak against him. Not to mention, everyone is apparently jumping ship from his website because apparently it's getting hacked frequently by religious groups. Thank you. And they get less traffic on it. At least when Doug Walker made that guy with the glasses, he had the brains not to split his videos across two different sites and half his profits. Still dear, Pre-YouTube Amazing Atheist would have kicked post-YouTube Amazing Atheist ass for being such a whiny bitch and caring so much about feminists. Okay. Spring Blossom says in reply to Revenge of Phil, brought up the bipolar of if I remember correctly, he had a really nasty breakup with his longtime girlfriend, and he was diagnosed with clinical depression after all that. Happy Napa says, there's a new video of the naughty nature for Taroja, which leads to an X video link about The Amazing Atheist. Oh, that has to be some of the most disgusting shit on YouTube. Well, YouTube, on the internet, my apologies. The most disgusting shit on the internet. Be forewarned. It's the textbook definition of not safe for work. If you don't want to look, let's just say he's done for hot oil what he once did for banana. Also, his prominent and proud display of his micro penis in this video is staggering. As one commentator stated on a different message board, it looks like he sewed a button onto his ball bag. Oh God. Quickissy says, in response to Happy Napa, what is he playing at? Hyperion says, as a Taoist, I prefer to keep my mouth shut on topics of religion. There is no need to disprove religion. If believing in God, or gods makes you happy. Alright, so Watcher's going to bring in this. Defying belief. JPEG. Whatever the fuck this was. This was... It looks like that's supposed to be TJ's... It looks like a proto-Tumblr almost. I'm not too sure. I don't remember. So they're asking TJ, why sell out? You saved up for a new yacht or something? And TJ says, I have no principles that keep me from making. Sounds about TJ nowadays. Pro tip. His father was a convicted scam artist who embezzled money. Alright. We're going to go on Thomas James Kirk II now. So, Thomas James Kirk II is redirected to James Kirk's diploma mills. Thomas James Kirk II, also known as Thomas McPherson, operated several fraudulent higher education organizations, diploma mills, including LaSalle University in Maudeville, Louisiana, not associated with LaSallian Educational Institution, nor the LaSalle Extension University, the University of San Gabriel Valley, and Buenville University. Kirk's LaSalle University was shut down in 1996 following a raid by the FBI. Kirk was indicted for tax fraud in 1996, and after an appeal agreement was sentenced to 5 years in federal prison. He later died in 2008, which was supposedly the TJ's first video on YouTube, which is not on YouTube anymore, was a video of him sitting in a chair outside of his father's hospital room, talking about how his father is dead and how he no longer believes in God. Because why would God take his father away? So, history. University of San Gabriel Valley was a correspondence law school based in California. At the time, California's regulations allowed for authorization of a degree program if the prospective operator provided a list of faculty and courses and demonstrated $50,000 in assets, and Southland met California's requirement. In 1984, Time reported that a former Southland registrar said that the school had granted a bachelor's degree in engineering based on a student's short resume and had awarded a law degree to a real estate agent on the basis of an exam designed to test legal assistance. Times quoted Kirk, who claimed he no longer operated Southland, as saying he had no interest as an educator, but the school was a very good way of making money. Which is hilarious to say, because it does sound like something TJ would say. In the mid-1990s, LaSalle provoked the attention of authorities because of evidence that government workers had been awarded promotions and salary increases based on fraudulent advanced degrees. According to a prosecutor with the Attorney General's office, more than a dozen known diploma mills have been set up in Louisiana, where the laws were particularly lenient. Federal investigators estimated that LaSalle alone had issued in excess of 40,000 fake diplomas, with the bulk of them to the government employees. In fact, LaSalle's sales and marketing materials highlighted the fact that many of its graduates occupied high positions in government. The school was shut down after a July 1996 raid by the FBI, U.S. Postal Investigators, and the IRS. According to John Baer, the U.S. attorney wrote to every person at LaSalle's files, officially informing them that LaSalle was nothing more than a diploma mill. All were advised that funds were available for refunds, providing that they would turn in their diplomas. Many didn't, presumably so they can continue to parlay their degrees for more money in the marketplace with impunity. They could always claim ignorance later. The FBI stated that LaSalle had only one faculty member serving 15,000 students, and her only degree was a bachelor's from LaSalle. Amazing. Furthermore, the back of the student application forms contain a disclaimer advising students that their signatures simply made them ministers of Kirk's World Christian Church, which could explain why TJ has such a hatred for religion. That any degrees they might get would merely be religious degrees, regardless of the subject. Kirk was charged with 18 criminal counts, including mail fraud, tax violation, and other crimes. At the time of his arrest, the operation was discovered to have more than $35 million in bank deposits. Bank deposits, goddammit. Current cash deposits of $10 million and other assets. Ultimately, Kirk entered a plea agreement in which he was sentenced to 5 years in a federal prison and was ordered not to operate any more schools. Kirk did, in fact, serve 5 years for all the charges related to these diplomas. After he went to prison, his wife, Natalie Handy, which I assume was TJ's stepmother, opened Edison University, an unaccredited distance education institute operated from a rental mailbox at a mailbox ETC in Honolulu. Edison later used the name Acton University. In 1997, World Christian Church sued Kirk and Hanley for $1 million. Handy later operated Novus University School of Law, registered in Marshall Islands from Palmdale, California. This school is not accredited by the Bar Association, and its degrees are invalid in California and Oregon. LaSalle University after Kirk's imprisonment. According to John Baer, in 1997, LaSalle University was sold to new owners who operated it as a legitimate operation until January 1999. However, during this period, some students were still doing work for the old LaSalle program, continued to operate under the LaSalle name for January 1999 to October 2000. during which time all academic work was intended to meet accepted academic standards. Beginning in October 2000 and continuing until its final closure in summer 2022, it used the name Orion College. Pat Brister, a leader at the National and Louisiana Republican Party, served as the chief executive officer and chairman of the trustees of Orion College. Republicans. Kind of sounds Republicans, Christianity, where his father said it was religious degree. Kind of does sound like TJ's hatred for religion did really stem from a revolt against my father kind of thing. Which is incredibly depressing as seeing the times now. Notable incidents involving LaSalle University credentials. In 2000, in Texas, it was reported that a nutritionist advising the U.S. Olympic swimmer Dara Torres and Jenny Thompson on the use of dietary supplements had received a doctorate degree in nutrition counseling from LaSalle University. 2001, the Colic Valley Seminole profiled a hospital administrator who had asserted both master's degree and PhD in business administration from LaSalle University in Philadelphia. The real LaSalle does not have a PhD program, only in clinical psychology and nursing. Richard Cormier had been newly selected for the head of administrator role at Colic Valley Hospital when it was discovered that he had been lying about his education. When questioned, Cormier presented copies of his diplomas, both of which were awarded in October 1994 by Kirk's outfit in Louisiana. Shortly thereafter, Cormier recanted his acceptance of the position. In 2002, Stephen J. Furtado, a Massachusetts school superintendent, was criticized over his phony doctorate from LaSalle University in Louisiana. Okay, as we read on and on, it's just more and more and more people who had received these fake documents. I think we can cut it there. Okay, so let's get back to It's funny since his father has a Wikipedia page and he doesn't, which is ironic because he does now. And probably will never get one unless he becomes a criminal himself. There it is. Look at this creature here. Oh, amazing. TJ Kirk, also known as the Amazing Atheist, as interviewed by Demon Mama. Fucking disgusting. Peroja Lee Kincaid. Thank you. Okay. Pressing. Tim Buckley says, in response to Happy Nappa's posting of him, DJ's banana video on X videos. I looked. I was off guard, distracted, clicked the link almost as a reflex, and I was eating. By the way, you were really serious about that micropenis stuff. Poor guy. Alright, so let's get this banger of a comic going. God is a concept for babies. Atheism is rational. They don't accept the truth because they're stupid, no matter how irrational I act. Oh, hey Sally, I just got back from church. You want to get some ice cream? Note, the Amazing Atheist is fatter and hairier in real life. You fucking moron! Do you honestly believe in that shitty lie known as God? How can you be so fucking retarded? Wait, what are you talking about? I only said that I came back from church. Did I offend you? You believe in God. which means you don't believe in scientific reason. You're the reason we had the Dark Ages. How about you quit believing in all this unprovable bullshit and just accept the fact that I'm right? Well, I don't see why you can regard religion as a bad thing. Sure, Christianity has its downsides, but all the charity work helps people in need, and I don't see what's wrong with that. DJ about to spring out. Uh-oh. Retard alert! You support raping little boys! I honestly can't fucking talk to a person so stupid. It doesn't seem like you're going to enlighten anybody with that attitude. Maybe you should be willing to engage in discussion. Nobody's ever won a debate by calling the other opponent retarded. You're dumb. You just did it again. You just called me dumb instead of engaging in an intellectual discussion. I'm willing to seriously talk to you. Maybe we can both learn something. Fucking yes, are too stupid! I can't talk with you! Holy Spirit raped the bear! And that bear was my father! Thank you. We're gonna give this a mad at the internet. Searcher says, that explains God Bear. Ivan Komarov drops this fucking banger here. Before I found Reddit, drowning like anti-intellectual quagmire. This is the effect a religious community can have on a person. But since discovering that I was not alone in valuing the power of my own brain above the words of clergymen who have no right to govern the life of myself or anyone, I have allowed my intelligence to blossom. My name is David, and this is my face of atheism. Hugh. Faithful Zappa says, God damn it, wants to Happy Nappa. Tetsu Dionychus. Tetsus Dionychus. That's what it is. My apologies, chat. I'm a little retarded. Tetsu Dionychus says, wow, I know. Truly, the only one responsible for that is Whoop-dee-dee. Hyperion says, that micro penis makes me wonder how many terrorists and spree killers have that condition. I know if my cock was a centimeter long. Or, thank you, I would just find a gun and start murdering. Naichu says, if that was true for Holmes, then word should get out. No more fangirl. Hyperion says, in response to Naichu, where Holmes is going, it doesn't matter how big he is. Where Holmes is going, it doesn't matter how big his is. He's going to be converted into a slanderous homo gay. Okay. I added quotes. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Big Hef says, in response to Xanatos talking about Maddox, is this true though? How many know him outside of YouTube, where he says things to draw a crowd and revenue? We can call Chris a lolcow because we know a lot about his personal life. Someone who makes money off of being polarizing is most likely. Xanatos replies to Big Hef with, I mainly take how he interacts with people off camera. He was notorious on That Guy with the Glasses for being nasty in comments to his critics, to the point where people had to step in and remind him the site is friendly. To be fair, you could still say that is keeping his act, but it's just the way he sells himself and carries himself. He definitely strives for being polarizing and controversial, but from everything I've read about him, he just seems like an unlikable, childish asshole with a micro penis. My Maddox example, you can tell there is a wink. You can tell there is a wink in what he says, not so much with Mr. Neckbeard. Big Hef replies with, "This is true, but it is still his online persona. The Amazing Atheist is supposed to be an asshole, right? If he was nice on That Guy with the Glasses, I'd take it as proof he wasn't playing a persona and just being himself. Now, granted, I've only watched 2 of his videos, and only after I saw this thread, he just seemed to be like a guy that found some niche for e-fame and money. Apparently, enough people think the same way or find ranting amusing enough to follow him. If he has enough fans and makes money, I doubt he cares what people think of his character. If I was in his shoes, I know I wouldn't. Then again, being reviled by people may just get him more popularity, so who knows? How much does he make? If he makes a living just doing videos, I would say he's clearly not a lolcow, as he is profiting off of his YouTube behavior." Trombonista says, he had 2 sex tapes leaked, one involving a banana, one involving oil. I think that qualifies him for lolcow status. Agreed. The Amazing Atheist's penis makes Chris Chan look like Scott Nails. Fuck that is. Man, that guy has nothing to work with down there. It would be almost impossible for a girl not to start laughing when she saw it. That is unfortunate. Okay, Big Hef replying to Trombonista. Sex tapes makes a person a lolcow. I would consider that just making them a kinky pervert, but I'll address that in another topic. Trombonista says, sex tapes involving a banana shoved up your ass and pouring oil on your inch-high private eye might not make you a lolcow material, but they bring you pretty damn close. Okay. Let me adjust really quick. Let me take a sip of my tea, chat. I have been going for about an hour and 45 minutes, not including the intros, so thank you again if you're watching my stream. This is going to be one of the first of many Friday Night Freak shows. I just decided that I wanted to do something pretty funny, and I kind of went for the low-hanging fruit here with TJ, but it doesn't really truly matter. I just wanted to do this stream, kick it off correct, and go on a trip down memory lane a bit and explain some shit to you guys. Okay. Pressing forward for a bit, and then I'm going to be taking a break soon enough here. Wasn't he a total douchebag to his old YouTube partner Cody? I remember Cody. I remember when Cody was living with him. Oh, that's crazy. That's a name I haven't heard in relation to TJ in forever. I think they were roommates, but he pretty much took advantage of him and left his shit in their house when they moved out, and was expecting Cody to ship his shit to his new house for free. I forget the whole story though. Anyways, I used to be a fan when I was going through my militant atheist phase. Now that I've calmed down a bit and matured, I kind of lost interest in him. Now he seems like he tries too hard. He makes some good points from time to time, but I just find him annoying now. The whole sex video scandal was pretty funny. I just hope he's a grower, not a shower for his sake. Hyperion says. Hyperion. The thing I don't get is this video of a grown man putting oil in his micropenis has 89% approval. Lunacy. Just lunacy. Okay, Bungholio says, man, that guy has nothing to work with down there. the whole girl laughing. Pickle Niggo says, lol, it really just looks like he has testicles and a single herpy down there. Oh, that's so fucking unfortunate. If he wasn't such a horrible person, I would feel bad for him for having a flea dick. Says, Saipo Cryphy. Better than the parents on Party of Five. Mystic Misty says, maybe that's why he hates feminists. It's really his way to express his anger and hate at all women who laugh at his almost non-existent dick. I have to wonder how men with pickles that small function. It doesn't seem like there's any way for them to achieve proper penetration unless they grow a considerable amount. Men, if you even feel like your dick is small, remember that it could be almost non-existent and feel better about it. 24 is the highest number, says, oh my god. That's one tiny penis. Also, why the fuck did I watch that? Aside from all the awful things he does in that video, he's got a really disgusting body. Actually, it's actually not unlike Chris's, which is fucking whack. DJ, you have a Chris Chan body. I actually know a guy RL who's a lot like the Amazing Atheist. His life mainly revolves around screaming at religious people, telling them that their beliefs are irrational, which is sad. Deck China. Deceased. That's depressing. Church of God Bear says in response to Deck's China, this isn't uncommon. Every fundamentalist Christian who screams that anyone not like them is going to hell, there's an atheist equivalent who figures anyone not like them is a societal cancer. Pain. We're gonna give up Ross. Dykes. Then he says, amazing how they missed the hypocrisy there. In response to Church of God Bear, Dr. Christian Troy. So this is basically every post-college atheist I've ever known, but he gets paid for it. The world is unfair sometimes. Right you are, my friend. Null says, I'm not going to sit and vehemently defend him because these sorts of things do make it hard. And his video quality on YouTube has degraded heavily over the last 2 years. but there's still something to be said for him. All of this point and laugh shit pretty much validates his views on feminism and people in general. His point always has been that there is a large group of females and some men that hoist the rights of women above that of general equality. If someone has a disease that causes their tits to shrivel up, or their vagina was too small to safely give birth and completely ruined out sex and tampons, it wouldn't be fun to sit there and mock them for being a defect. The only reason why why the exception is made for TJ is because you don't like him. Someone brought up Cody. There's a video on the internet of why they kicked him out. In his room, you can hear the sounds of sticky cola syrup clinging to their shoes as they walk in. He left everything a mess and was expecting them to clean it up. Cody did not pay rent. His contributions to the videos were that Cody got a girl knocked up and completely abandoned the girl and his daughter. Cody constantly bummed weed off of people and became a chronic user to the point where it was impossible for him to work on YouTube videos without TJ, and that nullified his contribution. Overall, I agree with TJ's views on personal freedom. I agree with his views on religion. I empathize with many of his plights, and I will always be somewhat fond of him because I was young and he was the one that let me know it was okay to think differently. If it were not for TJ, I would still be some Catholic going in a completely different direction in life. As for the sex videos, I don't really understand how he fell for something twice. I like how people disagreed with Null on this entire thing. I'm pretty sure Null's views have changed. So, I don't know if he still fully agrees with. Okay, so. Alright, chat. I'm gonna go get some water. I'm going to switch to the videos really quick while I get some water and some. Alright, I will be right back.
I was a gooner, I was a retard, I was a colder, multiple personality like a tuner, bone crushing, joking, no mugger, peptides, clap streams, void all in my ear, put me in a dream. Goombay, all night long, when I die, bury me with my live stream on. Talmud, I ran, song in my ear, put me in a trance. Maggot cock, all night long, when I die, bury me with my son. Bury me with all my goonness. When I die, just know I lost it on rainbow. Lights off, night lights, clothes off, baby, I got peptides. When I die, bury me with Brilliant Strong. When I die, bury me with my toupee on. Lights off, night lights, clothes off, baby, I got peptides. Clothes off, baby, I got peptides. Tell me a secret and I'll tell.
Alright, chat. I'm back. So, let us continue. Alright. So, before I start, please like and share my stream. Follow me on Zitter at Nova Everlasting. Follow me on YouTube at DVNova Unlimited. And follow me on Kick at Nova Unlimited. Try to get me to 100 viewers, chat. Get me to 100 viewers, 100 subscribers. And let's kick off this Friday Night Freak Show right. Let's get this series going correctly. Okay. So, pressing forward. Rio says, hold on. That's not what feminism is. Ugh. Apologies, chat. Feminism isn't female superiority. That's what the amazing atheist appears to think. But it really not the case. Feminism is and has always been about gender equality. It includes things such as the rejection, or it includes such things as rejecting the idea of men having to pay half of the money to a woman upon divorce, and the idea that men are obligated to pay alimony while women aren't. Both of these ideas stem from the idea that women are unable to work when they don't have a man to provide for them, and as such, it is amongst the goals of the feminist movement to get rid of them as they pursue equality. The Amazing Atheist bases his entire belief of feminism on a few fringe lunacies that either do not abide by this or are rude in the way that they try to achieve this. Why does he do this, you ask? Well, there's two possible reasons. One, he admitted to cherry picking to provide his arguments. He'd lose viewers who violently hate feminism for no reason. Two, he himself is uninformed about feminism and what the movement strives for. Either way, he contributes to the problem of willful ignorance regarding the feminist movement. I really don't see a reason to defend that. Also, I'm pretty sure that if a woman had a strange-looking vagina or a strange-looking breast, people would make fun of her for it. This is retarded. Do you even still? Yeah, you do. Good. That is retarded. I think me means modern feminism. True feminism is what you described. Thank you, Ivan Komarov. Feminism isn't female superiority. Null says, that's the point. Thank you for telling me what I already know. When he writes these essays about not liking feminism, he's not talking about the people seeking equality. He's talking about the people seeking female empowerment. The people who think porn is sexual slavery. People who think that men having any sort of sex drive or trying to flirt with a woman is literally rape. Remember, guys, this is 13 years ago, and it feels like ancient fucking history. Alright. Response to what Rio continues with. These videos he puts out about feminism are almost always directly specifically towards users on Tumblr that send him offensive material. Like a video of a woman on The View laughing about men being castrated by his wife and his detached penis being thrown down a garbage. Attached dick being thrown down a garbage. He bases his views on feminism because of the word itself. There's a video he puts out where he describes the difference between a person being a humanist and a person being a... The word feminist is outrageous in the same sense that the word masochist is. It's not about the genders conflicting. It's about seeing everyone to the same platform, and feminists do not see. I don't care about movements. I care about the end result. Feminism isn't providing an end result that I like because it caters to these fringe loons. TL611 says, there appears to be some sort of confusion between feminism and feminism. Like every belief, there are extremists. No, you're on about feminists, which normal feminists, the ones Rio is on about, hate just as much. There are dicks who believe they should be on top because there are dicks who believe that they should be on top because they're special some way, or for reparations or whatever. These people are idiots. It should not be listened to. Much like extremists in religion, politics, etc., they aren't reasonable people, and arguing against them is just going to make yourself look. The feminist movement has been tainted somewhat by the feminist movement, to be fair at this point. I believe calling equality feminism is a bit of a misnomer now. It works both ways. Surely custody of kids and all that falls under feminism too? ? General statements like feminists are dicks do tend to rile people up. It'd be like saying Christians are dicks because of the Westboro Baptist Church. Well, yeah, they're Christians, but they're not really Christians, which the No True Scotsman's, Chad. Ow. See, the fun thing is, this is Null replying. See, the fun thing is, I am absolutely entitled to judge groups based on their vocal minorities, which I wholeheartedly agree with. Thank you, Null. Just from that, winner, chicken dinner. There's a reason I stray away from labels with connotation. I am not an atheist. I'm a non-believer. I am not a feminist or a masculinist. I am for equal rights. When you start lumping yourself into groups, then you are automatically endowed with the attributes of that group. That's why it pisses me off when I talk to someone who proclaims they are a Catholic. I bring up that they believe that they are literally eating the flesh and drinking the blood of Jesus Christ, and then they shrug it off like, oh, well, I don't actually believe that. Then why call yourself a Catholic? Why call yourself a feminist if you're not for empowering women? When you say feminism is stupid because they're trying to focus solely on their own plight, when you say feminism is stupid because they're trying to solely focus on their own plight, that's correct. Because the scope of the statement focused solely on the vocal minority. Because the scope of the statement focuses solely on the vocal minority that actually do. You can't sit on the back bench behind 30 seats of anger, obstructionist cunts, and softly whisper, that's not true, when it's pointed out. It's your fault for being in the same fucking room anyways. And this is getting off topic. TJ doesn't hate women because he doesn't sympathize with the organized feminist movement, nor is he a misogynist for calling a rape victim some bad names. He married the ugliest woman I've ever seen because he loved her. He spouts off about gender equality constantly. Maybe he's an asshole, but he's not trying to subjugate women. Winner, chicken dinner. Zoltan6561 says, in response to Saini, I don't know anything about tormenting a rape victim, but I think he is against female supremacist, quote-unquote, feminism. TL611 says, Surely the whole point of having a group is to adequately describe yourself. If one believes all Catholic morals, like follows the Catholic teachings, practices the same rituals as a Catholic, and lives their lives as a Catholic, believes in God, and doesn't 100% agree with some of the bits from the Bible, like the blood and flesh thing, they reasonably understand evolution, see the flaws of the Bible, but still its core Catholic morals, and the traditions, because why not, etc., etc., then what are they? Surely their actions dictate they're Catholic, but they don't fit the category 100%. Groups aren't that rigid. And not to be a dick, but surely there's groups one must be in, like facial groups. There are connotations of black guys, and they cannot choose to be in them. There are connotations of black guys, and they cannot choose to be in that group. There are people in these groups who are very vocal and stupid who lead to racist stereotypes. Does that mean the whole group deserves to be judged by them? Oh, God. This is kind of crazy seeing as 2026. 13 years ago was such ancient history at this point. It doesn't even feel real. Just open up Zitter. Let's see. Let's open up Zitter right now. It's just going to be... Yeah, it's going to be Shaniqua posting. Amazing. So, things have definitely changed from this post originally. Where were you last here? Oh, it's just a guest anyway. Ow. And fair enough if you're going to judge groups by their vocal minority. But consistency is vital. If you're going to judge one group by their vocal minority, you should judge every group by their vocal minority. Alright, fuck you, dude. Nobody has to do whatever the fuck you say. And if you do that, then everyone's an asshole. Atheists, crazy assholes who pick fights for no reason, Muslims, terrorists, Christians, Romans, children, Thompson and Venables, autist, Chris. I've lost the point I was making, and I have a feeling I may have just constructed a straw man argument, but I can't tell cause I'm too tired. I don't care either way. I'm very much in the camp of everyone's a dick, leave them to it, and I definitely don't mean to offend you in any way. Just kind of playing devil's advocate. Oh. When you start picking and choosing what you believe in like that, you're no longer really part of the group. I've heard people calling themselves Christians without actually believing in Jesus, saying that the Bible is a book of moral codes that stood the test of time without actually believing in the events within. But as far as racism goes, yes, we are all racist. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. That is true. True, that is true. Not one person that has grown up in a white suburbia America is going to get on a bus, see two empty seats adjacent from each other, positioned next to a black man and a white woman, and sit next to the black guy. Unless that woman smelled of ass, took up half of the other seat with her avalanche of fat rolls, you're going to sit next to her. This isn't because you hate blacks, but it's because you feel more comfortable sitting next to someone who looks like you. Who you look like. This is human nature 101. Yes. Once again, leading to my post in the future about racism being biological. Now, there are people who do hate blacks. And yes, when you're stuck inside of that racial group as an outlying member, it sucks. Imagine being a preteen in the Bronx being picked up for a vandalism crime you didn't commit. Damn, SJW Josh. The police are conditioned to assume you did it, and your family is likely to believe you did it. That's the downside of belonging to a group. That's the catch of associating yourself with a larger assimilation of people. The difference between feminism and black people is that black people didn't decide one day to be black. No. Done. When you take a label like Catholicism, or feminism, or atheism, you are asking to be judged by the merits and misconceptions of the group as a whole. You are becoming a child molesting, man hater, and a Satan worshiper. Sypocryphy says, I can't stand both the amazing atheists and wacko feminazis. Like China, rest in peace. I actually like the concept of female superiority. It sounds very kinky. Necrophony says, pickle, 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 pickle. No replies, but so does TJ. And then this image. Fuck. Okay, so I have TJ's ED somewhere. We're not going to be going. Since it's not safe for work. I'm still streaming to YouTube, chat. The Amazing Atheist, apparently in response to a rape victim when he was being called out, she just told him that she'd been raped. All right, so that's the quote. Well, yeah, you deserved it, so fuck you. I hope it happened again soon. I'm tired of being treated like shit by you mean little cunts. And then when you're using your rape as an excuse, fuck you. I think you should give the guy who raped you a medal. I hope you fucking drown in rape semen, you ugly, mean-spirited cow. Actually, I don't believe you were ever raped. What man would be tasteless enough to stick his dick in a human cesspool like you? Nice gif of a turd going into my mouth. Nice gif of a turd going into my mouth. Is that kind of like the way that rapist dick went into your pussy? Or did he use your asshole? Or was it both? Maybe you should think about it really hard for the next few hours. Relive it as much as possible. You know, try to recall, was it my pussy or my ass? That is a quote from TJ. What an absolute piece of shit, says Rio. He appears to have since removed this comment. I don't care how offended or angry at her he was. You don't say shit like this. Alright, so Church of the God Bear. Church of God Bear says, what a tortured soul. I hope he can find comfort in God's love. Until his conscience shows him the way. May the Lord bless him. Well, that's what I wish. I wish I could say. That's what I wish I could say to this asshole. From the sound of it, she was harassing him. I have no sympathy. I'm tired of being treated like shit by you mean little cunts. And then you using your rape as an excuse. Fuck you. One second. Just 1 second. Okay. He admitted he was consciously trying to trigger the woman, which is to say he was trying to make her legitimately, possibly suicidally depressed. Also, the harassment. Okay, this is more of the shit where he talked about, I'm gonna rape you. Let's check this thing out really quick. Alright, Chad, I'm back. So, it was just a Reddit post where TJ said he was going to rape somebody. Okay, the screenshot highlights vulgar things and nothing else. When I scanned through it, it seemed horrible. Then I read it from the top down. TJ points out an extremely offensive name. I am a male. I have the idea that a woman would kill me and have an orgasm doing so, if doing so is unpleasant. Rape victims call him an enormous shithead and give sort of a deal with it response. TJ points out the hypocritical nature of this statement. Rape victim defends what she said and states pretty much explicitly that she is allowed to act as she pleases. TJ goes in for some shock value. Both people involved in this discussion are ham-fisted, ineloquent, and act like assholes. The difference is, one is a female rape victim, the other one is a victim of child molestation. What's the difference in these statements? I come when I kill men. I hope you get raped. If you answer anything other than nothing, you can pinpoint the exact location where your bias starts to. This is a culture where we hope prisoners get raped to death by inmates with horse sticks all the time. People like you hold this extreme cognitive dissonance where certain horrible things are okay and others are unspeakable. Yes! It is always good to be logically consistent, chat. You should always hold the opinion that capital punishment might be murder, but it is okay that some murder happened. Sorry to say, capital punishment is a deserved thing when it comes to people who murder the innocent. And when I come to certain arguments, discussions, and groups, I always hear that capital punishment is just murder, and I agree. Some murder is just okay in that kind of context. And the woman he says he hopes that she gets raped didn't make that screen name up, though, did she? I think the name that woman picked is ridiculous, offensive, and it sets back the movement she claimed. Rio keeps going on about the feminist movement, which we're not here for feminism. Kinda. We're here for TJ. This thread is going bananas. Thank you. Yeah, things are really heating up. Dropping that fucking oil. Thank you. Are there really girls out there who come when they kill men? It sounds kind of psychotic, but also kind of kinky, methinks. Dykes China. Hey, the French don't call the orgasm petite mort. The little death, or nothing. By the way, death isn't necessarily unpleasant. Imagine she smothers you with her boobs. That would be in the gray area between pleasant and unpleasant. Looks like it's time. Pull up. Alright, replying to Dyke China, Naichu says, if they're sadistic lust killers, maybe. And then Flixkin says, or a succubus. 24 is the highest replies with. Big difference to me is rape is a very real nationwide epidemic that is overwhelmingly committed against women. The number of women who might have or actually act on a sexual desire to kill men could probably be counted on one hand. Sure, the person in question had a stupid and childish youth. But Ted Bundy, Gary Ridgway, Paul Bernardo, Arthur Shawcross, Paul Stephanie, Dennis Rader, Jack the Ripper, Robert Henson, Israel Keys, the Hillside Stranglers, Rodney Alcala, which I've never heard of, actually did on sexual desires to kill women. Therefore, furthermore, how often do you hear a female serial 3. The Amazing Atheist is a reactionary crybaby who still doesn't understand feminism and instead chooses to attack a straw man and play the victim with regard as to how it affects. Alright, chat. I'm going to read you the top page, this top response by Null. And then we will be calling it a night on page, which I do have an incredible amount more to go, but this is going to be a very dense stream since it's TJ. You know, it is somebody that I've known for a while. And plus, you know, a lot of these responses aren't very short. Riddle me this: if making fun of a woman who has been raped isn't alright, then why is making fun of a deformed genital molestation or leaking sex videos for the public right? I'd say the latter is worse. A rape stops when it's over. But when you get shit like this all over the internet, it never goes away. You can cope with a rape, but this sort of thing sets you in a pretty much ruined for the remainder of the rest of your natural life. Fuck. For the remainder of your natural life. Trying to equate that life sentence in with a rape victim is a bit condescending, because there are strong women that recover and cope with their victimization, but that's only because it's one event. Having this sort of information on the internet is just a state of being. ED articles try to make the moral high ground here. It mocks TJ for e-begging, despite the top of its page saying, "Please give us bitcoins." Shows Bitcoin link. It mocks TJ for insulting a rape victim, which obviously it would never do. It insults TJ's wife, when I'm sure a considerable base of its editors have a serious lack of romantic entanglements. It mocks all of his petty little artworks, all of his demeanor, all of his meanders, shortcomings, and flings whatever shit it can, as if normal people don't have the things buried in their closet, and other people aside from him is some sort of fucking talented artist. I hold a lot of empathy for TJ, because his videos entertained and enlightened me when I was younger. When I was developing, I dotted on the big guy, and I thought he had an engaging personality. He and I share a lot of common ground on things I'm reluctant to bring up because I know it will damage how people on the forum see me. I admit I am biased towards him because I have a slight affection towards his oafish charm. His loudness and inability to remain even slightly politically correct are definitely two things I share with him. My issue with this thread is that TJ is not a lolcow. He's not someone who consistently does stupid things people can get laughs off of, or at least he didn't. Maybe he's a guy that you don't like. Maybe you completely disagree with him on everything he's ever said. Maybe you think once a rape joke is laid out, you become a societal untouchable. Whatever. I don't care. Don't buy his books. Don't watch his videos. Don't support him in any way. But don't act like he's Nick Bates or Chris or Love Shy Brood. He's not. And with this chat, I will be signing off for tonight. I will be continuing TJ's stream when I have more time during the next Friday Night Freak Show. But for now, peace the fuck out, chat. And if you don't like my country, get the fuck out. Alright, good night.
Dear diary, what a day it's been. It's been just like a dream. Woke up too late, wasn't where I should have been. For goodness sake, what's happening to me? Write lightly, yours truly, dear diary. It was cold outside my door, so many people by the score, rushing around so senselessly. They don't notice there's people like me. Write lively, yours truly, dear diary. They don't know what they're playing. No, they've no way of knowing what the game is. Still they carry on, doing what they can. Outside me, unpolitely, dear diary.
This is a climate damn emergency. This is real. And it's happening. This is the perfect storm. It's happening in unprecedented ways, year in, year out. You can exhaust yourself with your ideological BS by saying, well, 100 years ago we should have done this or that. All that may be true. And I'm not going to suggest for a second that the forest management practices in the state of California over a century plus have been ideal. But that's one point.
It's over, but tomorrow be the same. I know that they're really not to blame. If they weren't so blind, then surely they'd see there's a much better way for them to be. Inside me, yours truly, dear diary.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order.
Never before has a new world order had to be assembled from so many different perceptions.
What is at stake is more than one small country. It is a big idea, a new world order.
So, in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, a new world is happening. It is a new world order, significantly different and radically new changes.
And the hope that each of us has to build a new world order.
That's the reality we're facing. This smash mouth reality. This perfect storm. The debate is over around climate change. Just come to the state of California.